What's up, guys? It's Crash, and the launch of Tarkov Arena has been frustrating to say the least. And I know I have the risk of sounding like an entitled, impatient kind of person that's a little bit petty about stuff, but I think this goes a little bit beyond that when it comes to the release of Tarkov Arena and how Nikita treated it. And I have a little bit of an issue with it when it comes to the business thing and how this is going to work out. Now, overall, we're not going to be able to prove intent of how this game was launched and how it rolled out to people who want to spend money right now versus the people who they've already cashed in, they already have their money. All the EOD owners already have their money. We're not going to be able to prove intent, but there's really no way around it that these decisions that Battlestate Games has made are going to net them quite a bit more profit. So let me try to explain what exactly I'm talking about when it comes to the launch of Tarkov Arena. The waves were supposed to launch to EOD people first, and this is what Nikita actually said in his own words.
Closed beta will start this year, planned for the first half of December. Access to closed beta will be the same as it was with EFT, in waves. The first testers will be those who bought EFT EOD first and pre-ordered Arena first. Important, the selection is based on those who are already in the Arena system to be invited. To be invited, you must log in to Arena website.
So there you heard it. If you own EOD and if you sign up on the Arena website right when this went live, you should be one of the first people to get in on the waves. And right now, as it stands now, 3 days after the kind of launch of the alleged waves, many of us, including myself, who have owned the EOD since 2020, I believe, and right when that podcast went live, when they did that live stream, as soon as the Arena website was up and they tweeted it out, I signed up immediately. I logged in, it said I had access to Arena, and then still to this day, if I go look right now, the launcher says soon. I still am not able to get in. I've heard this from many people who have owned the Edge of Darkness edition long before I did, keeping in mind that the Edge of Darkness edition is $140 or $150 somewhere in there, and those people were supposed to get in first, as Nikita said. However, that's not the case. It has been way worse than that. People are getting in by purchasing it now. So a lot of people are able to just purchase Arena right now and get in within the hour. So what's essentially happening is it feels like Battlestate Games knows that people who own the ERD aren't going to refund, but if they hold those people out, others can get in. Potentially some EOD owners might become impatient, maybe buy the $30 starter and alternate account, buy the $30 edition of Tarkov Arena and get in right away. This also kind of feels like a shaft. I went checking out on Reddit what people were saying. A lot of people said whenever this podcast went live as well, they went ahead and upgraded to the Edge of Darkness edition so they could get in right away when Tarkov Arena came out. A lot of people bought a higher edition so they could get into Arena first as promised, and that is not the case. And it even goes a little bit farther with a little bit more of a slap in the face, in my opinion, by the community manager is actually giving random people on Twitter codes to get in. They're actually giving people codes, as pointed out by Logical Solutions. Just random people are getting codes when they ask for them. But people have stuck with the game for a lot of years, for a number of years, who have paid a lot of money to support this game are being left out in the cold when they were told not to. Now, I get a lot of slack when I talk crap on Tarkov, especially on the podcast. I've actually had people reach out to me in my DMs that says we need to get somebody on the podcast that actually knows about Tarkov because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I think things get misconstrued a lot of the times when I'm talking, and that could be on me. That very well could be my fault. But when I talk about Tarkov and the problems I have with it, it's generally not about the game. While I do think there are a lot of unnecessary noise and things are overly complicated with the game sometimes, I've always stuck by the fact that it's an incredibly unique game. It has an exorbitant amount of detail when it comes to firearms and realism and everything like that. It's a one-of-one game. There's nothing else like Tarkov, and I've always given it those kind of props. It's a completely unique game, and it's really cool. It's awesome what they've been able to do. But 99% of my criticism always comes to Battlestate Games and how they do business, how they handle things like cheaters, and how they handle things like this. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, there is no way for us to know that Nikita said, we need to do this, we're gonna make a lot more money. But there is a way to really easily, if we use our brains a little bit, understand that the decisions that they did make to do it this way, I have a hard time believing that it's a mistake, but doing it this way, holding people who have already paid back and allowing people to pay another $30 to get in right away and kind of cashing in on FOMO, there is no doubt that the decisions that they've made have made them a little bit extra money. It made them probably a lot of extra money at the expense of Edge of Darkness Edition owners, at the expense of supporters, at the expense of the community that's been with them multiple years. And it doesn't take long cruising around social media to see this sentiment, see instances of this happening. People who have had the Edge of Darkness edition as far back as 2018, I've seen who have not gotten in. I know other creators that have the EOD for a really long time also signed up on that website that are not in. And I know other creators and other people and other friends that I have that bought the Arena Edition standing alone and got right in, jumped to the front of the line. And it leaves us sitting here like, as a creator, I would have loved to make some Arena content. One of the things about my channel is I try to be fast and quick with news to kind of be relevant, because that's what I have over larger creators and larger channels. But I wasn't able to make anything, even though I did my due diligence to sign up right away, to try to be one of the first in, to get some of the first, you know, closed beta gameplay and give my reactions to the game and talk about it with you guys. And I wasn't able to do that. And I know that's kind of a self-titled opinion, but it's not really me being impatient or self-titled. I just really wish Nikita would have stuck to his word. It doesn't change that much for me. At the end of the day, I'll eventually get in and try it out, but it just doesn't sit right with me. When you say you're going to do something, you don't do those things, and then you profit from it. Again, we can't tell intent, but the guy's going to make some extra money doing it this way. A lot of people are frustrated, and it's really kind of a crappy situation that I really don't appreciate. Just going to keep that in mind going forward when we talk about Tarkov, keeping in mind kind of how they do business. I'm really excited for Gray Zone Warfare, that is for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look for some new content with Gray Zone Warfare coming up really soon on December 21st. We should have some new information, so stay tuned to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of all this, because I think it's pretty shitty. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you later.